Exactly 125 years ago yesterday, the people of Gainesville had a pretty unremarkable February day with high temperatures around 70 degrees. The next day, February 13th, 1899, the biggest snowstorm in history dropped 1 full inch of snow on our city. As the newspaper later reported, through Marion and Alachua counties, the snow came down in regular northern style, and during the forenoon, the temperature fell as low as 10. A fierce gale wind blew all day, keeping almost everybody indoors. I like to think that's the way newspapermen talked 125 years ago. I ran for mayor and was sworn into office in fine metaphorical weather. Soon after, the weather changed, and we found ourselves in an unprecedented storm. Over the past 11 and a half months, we've plowed a lot of unexpected snow together, but we found, and we continue to find, a way over, under, around, and through. When I first entered politics as an ambitious young kid, it was 1987, and I was a sophomore at what was then Santa Fe Community College. I was determined to start up a student government to help people take advantage of the many opportunities that existed at Santa Fe. One of my professors at Santa Fe, Donna Waller, who is with us this morning, supported those early student government efforts and also helped me understand the role our history plays in our present and in the future of a great community like ours. For that reason, I asked her and Ms. Vivian Filer to provide a Gainesville history moment at every one of our regular City Commission meetings. We're in the process of archiving those history moments, and you can already find several of them on the city's YouTube page. Today, as a leader of the city of Gainesville, the work is similar to that Santa Fe student government work. I'm honored to join my fellow commissioners in supporting neighbors across our community to find services and programs and to uncover new possibilities. I want to take a moment to recognize my fellow commissioners. Each one of them brings a deep desire to serve our community, and it's a privilege to work beside them. They are, of course, At-Large Commissioner and Mayor Pro Tem Cynthia Moore Chestnut, At-Large Commissioner Raina Sacco and District 1 Commissioner Desmond Duncan Walker, who are not able to be with us this morning, but a hand for them anyway. District 2 Commissioner Ed Book. District 3 Commissioner Casey Willits. And District 4 Commissioner Brian Eastman. We are all, as commissioners, supported and guided by our excellent and capable charter officers. These are leaders who manage our outstanding team of community builders, the staff who work to provide the services, events, and programs that make Gainesville a special place to live. Please join me in recognizing City Manager Cynthia Williams-Curry, City Attorney Dan Nee, City Clerk Kristen Bryant, Director of Equity and Inclusion Zariah Folston, and our new City Auditor Stephen Murray. And I want to also include Ms. Brecca Anderson, who only last week ended her full year as interim city auditor, and recognize her excellent service during this most challenging year. As with all our staff and commissioners, our charter officers were called upon to perform in ways no one could have predicted in 2023, and everyone was up to the task. When it felt like the tide was rising around us, rather than allowing the ship that is our city to take on water, our crew set sail. During the past year, we've done many things. We have focused on traffic safety and gun violence prevention. We've right-sized the city's budget and determined the best use of more than $32 million in American Rescue, or ARPA, funds from the Biden administration, including using more than $7 million of that to directly build affordable housing with our community partners. Always, we aim to make wise, smart, strong choices that take us closer to our goals. We have made progress over the past year. We are a city on the move. As we prepared this speech, I asked myself which issues would be most important to walk through in our limited time together today. Then I realized, as mayor, I have access to materials that will tell me exactly which subjects to choose. So I plunged into the emails that neighbors have sent to City Hall over the past year. These bring up questions and concerns, and I want to read some of them to you. About our trees and green space, this came from Dr. Ken Dodd. I doubt seriously whether natural areas will fit into the long-term future of Gainesville. From Ruby Gray, exactly what does the city of Gainesville consider affordable housing? Regarding our work to balance the budget, Jeff Montgomery says, as a Gainesville resident, I appreciate the efforts being made to tighten the belt. Another appreciative email came from Leah Todaro. I support our public safety, police officers, firefighters, and first responders as they put their needs second to everyone they help. We heard this important concern from Patrick Mitchell. What do you do for the east side of town? Regarding sustainability and climate action, Ruth Lewis said, we would like more information about how our household can participate in the food waste composting project. And then there's this from Paul Jaselskis. Why the hell am I getting an email from you? I live in northern Indiana. Apart from that one, and I apologize, Mr. Jaselskis, we'll have to look into that. These are much like the comments I hear from folks who stop me at Publix or at church or on the street downtown. They say, Mr. Mayor, I love Gainesville, but I want to know what we can do to make it better. The fact that so many of you care enough to ask is the first part of my answer. You are the key. Gainesville is pretty terrific, but it gets even better when we all work together, when we leave behind the outdated belief that Gainesville is a fragmented community somehow split down the middle. Whether that means town and gown, east and west, black and white, or rich and poor, it doesn't matter, because I believe it is fundamentally untrue. We are one city. We are best when we convene and collaborate and evolve as one. My favorite recent example comes from a day a couple of months ago when we revived a wonderful tradition. And for the first time since the 1990s, we gathered along University Avenue and started right here in these parking areas for a holiday parade. Commissioner at Large Cynthia Moore Chestnut, our new Mayor Pro Tem, proposed and championed that parade, and it fits into her vision for developing even bigger plans in 2024.
After 30 years of absence, we brought back a very GNV holiday parade, funded by the community, for the community, and with over 100 units from the community. We welcome you to join us for a very GNV holiday parade in December. Reserve your spot. We are here at the Dwight Hunter Pool, which is going to be included in the 8th and Waldo Road Sports Project. We have received a feasibility study from our consultants on Citizens Field and the MLK Center, as well as recommendations for the pool. We are in the process of hiring an architect, and with that, they're putting pen to paper, and we'll see the possibilities. After we get the architectural plans, we'll be moving forward with procurement. So stay tuned, stay in contact with us.
Now back to those email messages. I'd like to address the neighbor who voiced concern that we're not doing enough for East Gainesville. That is a historical fact. But as Commissioner Chestnut just shared, this commission is working hard to change the future. The Gainesville City Commission, Alachua County, the University of Florida, represented here today specifically by our now retired longtime Assistant Vice President of Community Relations, Susan Crowley. Susan? And other community partners are bringing true economic development and new amenities to our East Gainesville neighborhoods. The Cornerstone Campus, an East Side Health and Economic Development Initiative, is the most visible symbol of the city's commitment. Located at Southeast 20th Street and Hawthorne Road, it includes the Gainesville Technology Entrepreneurship Center, GTEC, a business incubator owned by the city and co-managed by Santa Fe College. GTEC is a place where small businesses learn and grow. By the way, there are 22 businesses at GTech. For those of you who occasionally ask, does anything happen out there? Yes, there are 22 businesses at GTech learning and growing right now. We're constructing a network of roads across the site. We're mitigating wetlands, and we're reviewing the full property for future prospects. The goal is to attract a grocery store or food hub, a mixed-use office development, and local shopping and retail. The East Side Health and Economic Development Initiative, what we call EHEDI, is also part of the Cornerstone campus. This joint effort between UF Health, the City of Gainesville, Alachua County, and the Biden administration is turning what had been open land into a state-of-the-art health clinic and RTS transit hub. Gainesville and the county have each given $2.25 million in funding to help build out the 10,000 square foot clinic that UF Health plans to open later this year and operate for a very long time for the benefit of folks who live on and near Hawthorne Road. The Biden administration added more than $4 million for construction of the transit transfer hub. Gainesville punches way above our weight when it comes to arts and culture, not only as a place to enjoy the art others have created, but as a sought-after workplace for artists in every venue. So much so that I've taken to calling Gainesville Florida's cultural capital, and I hope you will do that as well. We have 5 working theater groups in our community. Our music history is literally unparalleled for a community our size. This past October, we gave a key to the city to one of our own homegrown talents, Laura Jane Grace, on the steps of City Hall during Fest, thanks to Commissioner Eastman for moving that forward. Gainesville is a nurturing and prolific home for writers as well. Today, I want to especially recognize our local writers who together have accumulated the Pulitzer Prize, the Hugo and Nebula Awards, have been finalists for the Penn E.O. Wilson Award and the National Book Award, and have logged seemingly annual appearances on former President Barack Obama's public reading list. All of these writers, I'm proud to say, choose to make the city of Gainesville their home. We take our neighbors Cynthia Barnett, Jack Davis, Lauren Groff, and Joe Haldeman for granted because they are our neighbors. We might see them at a local restaurant, in line at Publix, or just around the neighborhood because they live and work shoulder to shoulder with all of the rest of us in Gainesville. But we will not take them for granted today. I'm going to call them up to receive the first Mayor's Award for Excellence in the Arts, honoring their extraordinary contributions in the field of literature and creating works that are enjoyed around the globe. I don't see Mr. Haldeman, and I know Ms. Groff is away promoting her new bookstore that's going to open on South Main Street at the American Booksellers Conference in Ohio this week. So we know where folks are, but not everybody's able to join us. But I am going to ask Cynthia Barnett and Jack Davis and Joe, if you came in, to join us up here for a special recognition. I would be remiss by not now acknowledging our future bright lights, the young people from our community who are destined to do great things. I'd like to take this moment to point out we are so very fortunate today to have with us representatives from our local high schools. Please join me in welcoming student government office holders from East Side High School. East Side. Gainesville High, Buchholz High, Santa Fe High, Lofton High here in big numbers and easily identifiable, and PK Young. I really appreciate all of you young leaders being here with us. We are particularly proud at the City of Gainesville to have Justice Alexander with us. She's the daughter of City of Gainesville Acting Director of Government Affairs and Community Relations, John Alexander. Justice is the 2024 winner of the Edna M. Hart Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award, given by the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission of Florida. She is Eastside High School's student body president and vice president of the school's first Black student union. Justice, we are proud of you at the City of Gainesville. Now, of course, I'm going to use this as a segue opportunity. Ms. Alexander, also sings and plays the clarinet, which fits right in here in Florida's cultural capital. Concerts, theater, and learning opportunities contribute mightily to quality of life. And so over the past year, the city launched a feasibility study to look into building a cultural arts center in East Gainesville. Proposed by District 1 Commissioner Desmond Duncan Walker, this idea is tied to the City Commission's larger effort to support young people by bringing to all areas of the city a variety of worthwhile activities, education, and things to do.
Here at the Clarence R. Kelly Center in the heart of District 1, we have the opportunity to educate, encourage, and reach the lives of many young people. As we know, gun violence has proliferated throughout this country, including throughout District 1 and this Duval neighborhood. Centers just like the one behind me, the Clarence R. Kelly Center, are more crucial now than ever. The City Commission just last year voted unanimously to support the creation of a cultural arts center. As we work to plan for this new and exciting venture, we are responding to the needs and the literal requests of our youth who've asked us for jobs, mentors, things to do, and places to go. In 2023, the City Commission declared gun violence a public health crisis in Gainesville. We brought on our partners and our colleagues over at Alachua County. We're grateful to them for their assistance, but we know that it's going to take even more. Santa Fe College has also joined us in this fight to prevent and stem gun violence as we work to address this public health issue. We certainly hope to have all of you at the table, because truly, in this fight, it's going to take us all.
As you just heard, supporting youth is one piece of our city's continuing effort to reduce violence in the community. As Commissioner Duncan Walker said a little more than a year ago, February 2nd, 2023, our commission declared gun violence a public health crisis in Gainesville. We convened the city's first gun violence prevention summit. Held in August and championed by Commissioner Duncan Walker and myself, this summit brought together leaders in education, public health, government, community organizations, the judicial system, and of course, law enforcement to seek solutions for Gainesville and Alachua County. The event drew an estimated 400 people to the UF Hilton Conference Center, and those present agreed to continue the dialogue while developing action items for public safety, support services, and policy making. City and county leaders made a commitment to address the issue in further joint meetings. Following that summit, the Gainesville Police Department launched a gun violence prevention initiative, deploying resources while working with the community and other agencies to ensure all neighbors feel safe in our city. The city also has used funds and best practices from the Biden administration to create a new staff position. The Gun Violence Prevention and Intervention Program Manager will work across agencies and departments to coordinate data collection, apply research, and analyze risk factors with the goal of reducing the proliferation of gun violence in our community. This new city staffer is expected to begin work in just a few weeks. We're always working to bring city services to neighbors in need of assistance. We're providing program funds to support coordinated efforts with Alachua County and Santa Fe College to further partner with the many stakeholders that make a difference in the overall effort to reduce gun violence. And in response to last February's resolution passed by myself and our commission declaring this a public health crisis, City Manager Cynthia W. Curry designated Gainesville Fire Rescue Chief Joe Dixon as special advisor to the city managers on all issues of public safety, focusing on gun violence, homelessness, and public health. In this special assignment position, Chief Dixon is guiding our coordinated efforts as we continue working with stakeholders and highlighting for the community the ongoing city services provided in these areas. To date, the City of Gainesville has invested more than $53 million in funding to provide or support gun violence prevention programs and services citywide. One of our most innovative programs is the national initiative known as One Nation, One Project. The goal is to use arts and culture to promote community healing and well-being. The City Commission decided in 2022 to put 2% of Gainesville's total ARPA funds into this effort. That's almost $650,000. We created a youth steering committee and pulled in community members in the fields of mental health, youth services, and the arts. After providing smaller grants to local organizations in Phase 1 of the program, last year we entered Phase 2, awarding grants totaling $200,000 to 6 area organizations, including ACES in Motion, Dream on Purpose, the Hippodrome, and the Willie Mae Stokes Community Center. We look forward to a final showcase this summer that will be produced by a nationally known, but also homegrown artistic talent. Artistic director Marion Caffey, who is the producer of the longest-running talent competition in America, Amateur Night at the Apollo, also serves as the artistic director of Gainesville's One Nation, One Project. We're fortunate to have Mr. Caffey, and he will stage this summer's culminating event. In addition to these efforts that build opportunities and reduce risk to prevent community violence, we have, as a city, embraced a second major public safety initiative. This one is focused on pedestrian and cyclist safety. In 2018, the City Commission adopted a Vision Zero policy with the goal of eliminating traffic deaths and serious injuries in the city of Gainesville. In January of 2023, my fellow commissioners and I joined the Alachua County Board of County Commissioners in declaring a traffic violence crisis, and Gainesville is now implementing solutions to make the situation better. We all know University Avenue has too many vehicle collisions. That's why this year the City of Gainesville received an $8 million grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation to plan, design, and build improvements that will stretch from the University of Florida to Fred Cone Park. This will turn that portion of University Avenue into a complete street. We will lower the speed, add landscaping, islands, bike lanes, and walking paths, and we will enable safe access for all our neighbors who use that road. Because of the work that has already been done, in 2023, collisions causing serious bodily injuries to cyclists and pedestrians were reduced by 22%, and cyclist and pedestrian deaths were reduced by 10%. If we have even one cyclist or pedestrian death, it is tragic and one too many, but it is also important to mark progress where it is made. I'm happy to report that last year, the Florida Department of Transportation completed construction and installation of a pedestrian-activated signal across East University Avenue between Northeast 26th Terrace and Southeast 26th Terrace. This new safety measure is a collaborative effort between FDOT and the City of Gainesville. We prioritized this project after the death of 4-year-old Dylan Roberts. On October 27, 2021, Dylan was struck by a car while crossing University Avenue on the way home from Fred Cone Park. The crosswalk is a city response to improve pedestrian safety and is expected to receive the memorial designation Dylan Roberts Memorial Crosswalk with suitable markers. I want to especially recognize Dylan's mother, Megan Durant, who joins us this morning. She has worked tirelessly and courageously to honor her son's life and to promote safety for all pedestrians. Both State Senator Keith Perry and Representative Yvonne Hayes Henson have sponsored a local bill that asks the Florida Department of Transportation to name the crosswalk, and that this is currently moving through the Florida legislature, for which we are very grateful. We'll now hear from at-large Commissioner Reyna Saka, who explains the way Vision Zero works as a building block for safety citywide.
I'm excited that we were able to win federal grant dollars to help redesign University Avenue East and West and all of 13th Street North and South for several blocks. Beginning with this redesign, we'll be able to make these streets safer for our cars, our buses, our pedestrians, and our cyclists, making sure that our streets are accessible and walkable for everyone. In the coming year, I'm excited to see all of the new changes we can bring forward for the city with our streets, stations, and strong foundations dollars. Because of this tax that you guys voted for, we get to change so much of the face of Gainesville for the better. And those changes will ensure that Gainesville is stronger and better for the future.
Thanks to our incredible first responders, we have the foundation we need to continue building toward Vision Zero. I'm talking about the police officers, the firefighters, the EMTs, and the paramedics who support and protect all of us on our roads and sidewalks, in our neighborhoods, businesses, and homes. Please join me this morning in thanking Gainesville Police Department Officer of the Year, Officer Emma Spaulding, GPD Civilian of the Year, John Holt, and Gainesville Fire Rescue's Reginald Kinsey III for being here and being front and center. Driver-operator Kinsey, on November 26th of last year, rescued 2 people from a terrifying vehicle fire while on his personal time off duty. Our deepest gratitude goes out to all responders and the essential work they do for our city. To help our first responders better protect the safety of our neighbors, in November 2023, we ratified changes to the city's 3-year contracts with Gainesville Fire Rescue public safety employees, changing the agency to a unique 24/72 staffing model. This will permit our GFR firefighters and emergency medical technicians to work a 24-hour shift, followed by 3 consecutive days off. It is expected to improve the work-life balance for current first responders and help us recruit more firefighters to the city of Gainesville. It should go without saying that my fellow commissioners and I agree with the email from Leah Todaro expressing support for our first responders and the essential work they do. Because we value our firefighters, police officers, teachers, small business owners, and others working to make our community special, safe, and strong, we are placing high priority on the need for new and innovative approaches to resolving the issue of affordable housing in Gainesville, and we are making progress. Exactly what does the city of Gainesville consider affordable housing? This was one of those questions that came in an email. The answer that the city generally uses is its definition: housing or services that are connected to affordable housing programs or policies is admittedly bureaucratic. But what we are doing to provide affordable housing is very real. Like our entire city commission, District 3 Commissioner Casey Willits is a strong proponent of affordable housing and assistance for renters, buyers, and homeowners. His district in Southwest Gainesville includes more apartments than any of the other districts.
Gainesville is continuing our commitment to making sure that our neighbors can find their home in the city no matter what stage of life they're in. Our Department of Housing and Community Development completed the rehabilitation or replacement of 31 homes and assisted 20 neighbors with down payment assistance. This year, we conducted and concluded the application process to award over $7 million of federal funds to help provide affordable housing in our community. Eventually, over 200 units of affordable housing will come to our community through this effort. This year, our first example of voluntary inclusionary zoning will open, where affordable units will be placed in mixed income developments. Heartwood has come to life with over a dozen neighbors moving into homes in Gainesville's mixed income neighborhood we developed in Southeast Gainesville. With state and federal resources and housing partners like Gainesville Housing Authority, we are making sure that Gainesville is a place where everyone can call home.
Now, this is special. This is a big deal. We are so proud that last year, the Gainesville Housing Authority and the City of Gainesville were awarded a $500,000 Choice Neighborhood Planning Grant from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The joint application was only one of 14 chosen nationwide during a highly competitive process and includes a transformation plan to support the revitalization of the Housing Authority's Pine Meadows and Lake Terrace properties in East Gainesville near Fred Cone Park. As Gainesville Housing Authority CEO Pamela Davis said, this grant represents a golden opportunity to uplift our community and bring about lasting positive change. The strategic partnership between the GHA and the city marks a significant step toward this area of East Gainesville into a thriving, inclusive, and vibrant place for all residents. Last year, city staff created an online interactive housing map. It's easy to find on the city's website. And by accessing a user-friendly dashboard, visitors can review an enormous amount of information collected from a wide variety of development projects with start dates going back 2 years through the present day. The map provides a dynamic view of current developments, funded housing programs, and other resources that play a pivotal role in Gainesville's housing market. We all know that affordable housing was one of the hot-button issues that generated attention and news coverage over the last year. One of our first actions as a commission was to restore single-family zoning because we listened to the community. We also changed our public works plans to save the oak tree outside Harry's, and an improvement with cost largely covered by the Tree Mitigation Fund. We are building a more accessible streetscape. That was a project, again, where we listened to our neighbors. We heard from so many of you who wanted to recognize that trees are part of our community's character. And I believe by reversing course in that particular example, we have shown Dr. Ken Dodd, whose email called into doubt our commitment to nature, that trees will continue to fit into the long-term future of Gainesville. Here's the truth. While we all agree progress can mean construction and development, it can also mean correction and preservation. For instance, the City Commission considered closing Ironwood Golf Course to help balance the city's fiscal year 2024 budget. But after hearing from its many supporters, we chose to maintain the golf course and study its future more carefully. We listened to neighbors concerned about the partial restoration of the Thelma Bolton Center, which now will be repaired so we can stabilize the building and then revisit our plans. We also spent months going back and forth on the city's open container ordinance because we wanted to improve public safety while supporting our neighbors who own and operate downtown restaurants and bars. The solution came in two parts. We restored the pre-pandemic open container rules across the city, except in certain areas. District 4 Commissioner Brian Eastman shaped the concept of the city's first arts, culture, and entertainment districts.
On January 1st, our city created 2 arts, culture, and entertainment districts, one in downtown and one in Grove Street. These are areas where people can sip and stroll and really see much of the arts and culture that Gainesville is famous for. During the pandemic, the city temporarily allowed drinking on public right-of-way to support our small businesses and give residents a safe way to go out with friends and family. And what we didn't expect is this small change had a huge impact on our arts and culture. We now have a downtown ACE district and a Grove Street ACE district. You can see it for yourself on a Friday night, some of Gainesville's great music in front of the Bull on our streetery, or a How Bizarre pop-up market on a Saturday, or the Grove Street Farmers Market on Monday. These districts are helping to highlight the great arts and culture that we have in our community. They're helping grow our local small businesses, and frankly, are just downright cool to go and see.
These new districts were created with careful thought after listening to many community members over the course of months. This is how we move forward. With my fellow commissioners, I worked over the past year to understand the issues and make the wisest possible decisions. We heard from neighbors, staff, and experts in each field, and each of the examples mentioned is proof that several times in 2023, we changed direction when the situation called for a change. That's not a sign of failure. Listening and following through with action is a sign of strength. And I thank everyone who has taken the time to share a fact or opinion with the Commission, whether that's at City Hall, in an email, or in the checkout line at Publix. Of course, much of last year was shaped by our visits with the Florida Legislature's Joint Legislative Auditing Committee, or JLAC. The year was shaped by House Bill 1645 that separated Gainesville regional utilities from city government. And it was shaped by our hard work to reduce spending and balance the budget for fiscal year 2024. Last budget season, in response to the concerns of JLAC members that Gainesville's general government had been receiving too much revenue from GRU, the City Commission adopted a formula for the government services contribution, formerly called the General Funds Transfer. This reduced the transfer from GRU by $19 million, a reduction of 55%. As a result, our city's new budget reduced spending in 13 of 20 general government departments. Those budget reductions led to difficult choices in 2023. We elected to close the Reichert House Youth Academy in May at the end of the school year. The valuable services it offered are being transitioned to the community so this work can continue. We eliminated 125.5 full-time positions. We created new efficiencies, moving traffic operations from our transportation department back into Public Works, where it's a perfect fit. But the changes will not end there. The effects of this separation from GRU and the budget reductions that will likely continue will drive our city's budget process as we work toward fiscal year 2025. The City Commission and staff have worked very hard during this process to preserve the things that matter. Our parks and our special events fit into that category. Sparks in the Park still happened. The Hogtown Medieval Fair still happened. Almost all of the events you've come to know and love still happened. This is due to our outstanding team in Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, who in 2023 earned a perfect 100% score in all 154 reaccreditation standards set by the Commission for Accreditation of Parks and Recreation Agencies and the National Recreation and Parks Association. We're proud of that achievement. This department oversees 90 parks that span 3,268 acres across our city, including historic sites and wetlands filled with alligators and other wildlife. Our nature parks also include creeks and tributaries. Places like Hogtown Creek and Rattlesnake Creek need special protection, and for that reason, today I make an appeal to all our neighbors and visitors to stand with us against illegal fossil hunting. This form of tourism is not lawful on public land unless permission is granted, and it constitutes trespassing when done on private property. Fossil hunting and collecting is prohibited because it's harmful. The damage done to creek beds leads to erosion. The digging and removal of fossils or artifacts exploits our natural history and violates the environmental protections passed by the state of Florida, Alachua County, and the city of Gainesville. We ask you not to do this, not to support businesses that promote this, and to report this behavior to GPD when you're aware of it. We love our creeks. In fact, we love them so much that last year we dedicated a special effort to making one of them even better. District 2 Commissioner Ed Book spent a good part of 2023 coordinating with Keep Alachua County Beautiful and other community partners on the Downtown Refresh, an effort to clean Sweetwater Branch and prioritize the environmental health of our downtown.
While 2023 was a challenging year for the city of Gainesville, I'm going to focus on the GNV Downtown Refresh. What was it? It was a cleanup, a beautification, litter cleanup, working to take trash out of the creek. We cleaned up over 15,000 pounds of trash with over 100 volunteers. And with those 100 volunteers, amongst them was our city staff, Rotary clubs, Keep Alachua County Beautiful, and the Greater Gainesville Chamber of Commerce. We worked on this in November and December, and this is ways that we make a difference in partnership with both private and corporate and business partners.
2023 also was the year the city of Gainesville appointed its first Chief Climate Officer, who now is working with stakeholders to develop a climate action plan designed to meet our citywide goal of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2045. So when Ruth Lewis asked in her email about Gainesville's residential food waste composting program, the answer is closely tied to the climate work done across departments, from public works to sustainable development. To date, households taking part in that composting program have contributed to the diversion of more than 58 tons of food waste from area landfills. This has reduced greenhouse gas emissions by nearly 37 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. For Ruth and anyone else who may be interested, program information is available online at gainesvillefl.gov/food waste. We want you to know that much of what we do for the community can be found online. That's because of the City of Gainesville website. Our website, worked on by our Office of Communications, along with key staff and other city departments, was named both the 2023 Website of the Year and the People's Choice winner of the 13th Annual Digital Government Awards. These honors were given by Granicus, a leading provider of government experience software and solutions. The team is also responsible for the On the Move with the City of Gainesville booklet you found on your chairs, along with our State of the City publication. Please take this with us. If you want to give them to other folks, we'll get more copies for you. We think these are important documents, and I want to make sure that everyone understands these because it gives you a much more concise understanding of what we've been doing than I'm giving you in this speech. I want to thank the Office of Communications, top to bottom. Everyone in that department is responsible for what you see here today, for the event itself, and for much of what comes to you from the city of Gainesville. We do really great work, but great work does not tell its own story. We have a great communications department that does a terrific job of telling the story of the city of Gainesville to the folks who live here and the folks who visit. So please, big hand for the communications folks. The team is also responsible, well, I told you that, with help from our talented tech experts specializing in GIS, you can also scan the QR code inside the front cover of this document and visit the interactive maps online. On the Move outlines all the exciting projects happening here in the city of Gainesville in all 4 districts. These are roads, parks, crosswalks, transformational economic improvements. Our growth and our promise are right there on those pages. It's Gainesville's very own, very current story of technology, progress, teamwork, and innovation. I believe that's a suitable place to begin closing. As I mentioned at the beginning of this talk, exactly 125 years ago, newspaper reporters were watching the snow come down and waiting to get that story into print. Today, that information would be shared online instantly. You'd find it on our website, our award-winning website, and on social media. You'd be outside taking pictures with your phone and posting them to the Insta. You'd be outside, well, you'd get continuous updates from our partners at TV20, the Gainesville Sun, WUFT, the Independent Florida Alligator, Main Street Daily News, and all the other of our region's media outlets. If the snow kept you from attending one of our regular city commission meetings, you'd see it broadcast on Channel 12. That meeting would very possibly begin with an invocation given by our good friend, Dr. Saeed Khan, a frequent collaborator at Gainesville Cultural Events, who we are grateful to also have with us today. Dr. Khan? And if there was snow on a day like today, with our modern technology, you'd hear from meteorologists. You'd Google for instant access to internet archives containing data about the science of cold snaps in Florida. Our City of Gainesville Emergency Operations Center would be activated in advance, and our first responders, public works crews, and other city staff would be standing by, ready to get Gainesville back up and running, even as the last snowflake fell. And if you've been here for a while and you've seen snow, you know why I say snowflake. Afterwards, many of you would send us emails telling us what we did well and what we need to dig in deeper on. Always, we learn and we listen. We are making progress. Email just makes it feel more immediate. So yes, as we look back at 2023, I can tell you we are moving forward. We are improving our technology, our sustainability, our equitable development, our access to the arts and to economic opportunity. We are working to enhance traffic safety and prevent gun violence. Despite typically not being a winter wonderland, we host every year a day of seasonal celebration each December, and that day now includes a very GNV holiday parade. My fellow commissioners and I know whether you appreciate our efforts, I want to fire off one of those emails, you agree with us that Gainesville is worth the effort. I'm so glad that you are part of the Gainesville story and that Gainesville is part of your story. Let me close by saying this to every person working for our city, our police officers, our administrative assistants, our firefighters, our lifeguards, our bus drivers, every single one of you. We are all in this together, and none of what we have accomplished or have in us to accomplish is without you. I know that in the coming year, there will be challenges. I know that the water may rise again, but we shall set sail. No matter how the wind blows, the sun will shine on the city of Gainesville. Thank you for the opportunity to share this time with you. May God bless you, and may God bless our city on the move.